Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my chicken coop. Tonight I'm going to be getting some eggs. I didn't do that last time and it hasn't been done for a couple days, so I'm going to get the eggs. Should be quite a bit. We actually just changed out the bedding in this chicken coop. Oh, here we go. Can you see that? Let me get these eggs here. Yeah, we have this big. We have a big round bale of hay that we bought winter of last year because we didn't know we didn't know how much hay that we were gonna need for our cows. Like one day it started snowing. And then we were like, oh shoot, the cows don't have any grass to eat. And they can't just eat cracked corn. So we ordered hay from a guy that's just across the border in Oklahoma. And, you know, since we didn't know how things were going to go, man, there's a lot of eggs. Since we didn't know how things were going to go, we just kind of played it safe. And we just ended up getting way too much hay. So the remaining hay, we've used it for our garden. And now we're using it for our chicken coop. Whereas before we would buy either like straw, the small square straw bales from like a farm store or something, or we would buy pine shavings. But it's just like, it's awesome because these big round hay bales for just like the native grass, the native prairie grass, it's only 35 bucks for that thing, and they're huge. So I think we're just gonna use that for our gardening needs, you know, to like put down in the garden to help control weeds. And then we'll use it for our chicken coop and whatever else we need. We have a brooder too. We have some guineas that are in there right now, some young guineas. They're not called chicks, they're called Keats, so you know, whatever. There's another egg. Sometimes they lay on the ground. Don't know why, because we definitely have enough nesting boxes. Anyway, let me check these ones over here. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something that's been bothering me for quite some time. Well, and I guess I can't get too mad, okay? So it wasn't until late 2020 that I started coming across these Second Coming timelines. The ones put together by like Jody Stoddard, Millennial Rain, and there were like a few others. And when I saw those, I mean, I didn't know about any of that stuff. Like any of the stuff that they put in their videos. It was like brand new information to me. And it like really woke me up. Like big time. And I'll tell you guys. Oh, there's another egg. And you know, ever since that time, I've just been like on, you know, alert. You know, just like super high red alert in regards to the Second Coming. And I've been trying to learn every possible thing that I can. Even the opposing views, because there's kind of like a little, seems like there's a little internal war among members of the church. It seems like the main two factions are the people that think that we're, the first being the people that think that we're in the seventh seal, which is people like Jody Stoddard, and I tend to agree with that view. You know, I can always change that if there's like new, better information, but so far I feel like, you know, she's probably right. And then the second group are the people that believe that we're still in the sixth seal, and I understand why they think that. I think that they have a little bit more of a literal interpretation of the scriptures. This one has a hole. I'm gonna toss this out. And I'm not gonna like necessarily say that they're wrong, because I don't know. You know, I don't think anyone really knows. But one thing that does kind of bother me a little bit is the people that think that the second coming, I mean, people within the church that think that the second coming is still like a ways off. And there's one little bit of information I want to cover tonight. I feel it's like one of the most amazing things I've heard a prophet say. It was, and I'll leave the link for it below, but it was the Sunday morning session of General Conference 2019. President Russell M. Nelson, when he said, and I'm going to paraphrase because I don't have anything here to quote with me. I'm using the phone for the camera. But he said essentially that he was pleading with those who had distanced themselves from the church, and also those that are, you know, in the church but that hadn't done the necessary work to really gain a testimony that this is the Lord's restored church on the earth today. In that he was pleading with them to come back to church, get that testimony, because time is running out. Okay, so he said that in 2019, and right now it is 2021. And my question is, to anyone that thinks that the second coming is still like a long ways away, what is it that you think that excuse me, what is it that you think that he meant when he said that time is running out? Time is running out for what? You know, because I can't recall. There's another one back here. Oh, and it's a blue one. These come from our Americanas. Americana chickens typically lay blue or green eggs. I don't see any right now. Well, like up here, like this chicken up here. These ones that have like these puffy cheeks right here. This is an Americana. And they lay green and blue eggs. Sometimes they're called Easter eggers. Anyway, yeah, I can't recall a time that a prophet, a president of the church, has said something like that. And, you know, time is running out for what? Like, what's any different now than, you know, during the whole history of the church? Oh, ducks, they just can't stop doing that. Let me step out for a second. Excuse me, Elaine. Excuse me. So, let's think about that for just a second. What's the most obvious thing that comes to mind, do you think, when you hear a prophet say something like that? I think most people probably think he's probably referring to something that has to do with the second coming, right? And I'm just like racking my brain, like, what else could he mean when he says time is running out? you know, is there going to be some kind of like huge social disruption that's going to make it so that the church is no longer functioning, and like, you better, you know, get back to church now and make sure that you follow the covenant path before we can't even do church anymore? I mean, I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily what he means. So there's this kind of this concept that there's going to be a quickening event as one of the initial stages, or one of the first phases of the official second coming, when Christ comes to the Jews in Jerusalem and when he comes to the rest of the world. That and there's a quote in Doctrine and Covenants, and it's also in the New Testament, talking about, at that time, meaning when Christ comes again, those who have been asleep in the graves are going to be brought back to life, and those that are alive on the earth at that time are going to be quickened. I'll see if I can find that scripture too, and because that's, you know, I didn't do it justice, but essentially it's what other Christian churches, especially like evangelicals, would call the rapture. And that's not really it's not really an LDS word, but it's talking about the same event. They take it from the Greek translation of the New Testament, and I believe that the word, like when you're looking at that particular verse, I think it's the word raptura, which means to snatch up or to take away. And, you know, what we call it in the church is simply being quickened or being translated, because we know that once we enter the millennial period, the earth is no longer going to be in a telestial state. It's going to be in a terrestrial state. And in order to live in such a world, and also in order to be in the presence of Christ, your body needs to be changed so that you can withstand it. So it would seem to me that this is probably what President Nelson is referring to. And I have other things to back that up, but that's going to have to be in another video. But if you can think of any other thing that he could be referring to, just put it in the comments below. Be civil and be friendly. I'm really open-minded. I really am. It's just, you know, this is kind of like the stance that I'm taking right now, that I think that the second coming is a lot closer than we think. I think that the two eclipses, the two American eclipses, the one that was in 2017 and the one that's coming in 2024, I think that those are significant, and that they are in a timeline of sorts. And like I said before, we're in the middle right now of those two eclipses at the time of this recording. And it would also seem that the half hour of silence, if it did start in the year 2000, it's basically ending right now if it hasn't already. And it would seem that, you know, when you read the scriptures, it would seem that Christ intends to take away those righteous saints before this tribulation period really kicks off, so that we can escape those judgments and the punishments that are coming on the earth. So, but all I know, okay, no matter what you think he meant, a prophet of God told us in conference that time is running out, and that it's important that if you're a less active member or completely inactive, or if you're going to church but you don't really have a testimony, you need to take care of that, because time is running out for something. And I hate to say it, but that was 2 years ago now. You know, as of right now, is it too late? Do you have to, if you're an adult, you know, is he meaning that as an adult you need to have received all your ordinances by now to be prepared? You know, at least have like gone through the temple and got your initiatories and endowment, not necessarily sealed, but you know, I think those that are not of age are going to be okay, children, teenagers. But I don't know. I'm not claiming that I do know, but it seems pretty serious. So, you know, this video is just about that. Take some time and really think about the gravity of what he said. That in 2019, according to him, a prophet of God, time is running out. So thanks for spending some time with me tonight. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video if you liked it, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you next time.